Let's try this again. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're trying it round number 2. Hey, we're trying to do this live stream again. For some reason, I went from having 5 full bars of reception down to 1, and then it knocked me out. My cell phone went out, my little Wii Boost went out. So here we are again. Ding ding, round 2. Logging on to YouTube right now, so fingers crossed that we're all good here. Oh, the struggles, my friends, oh, the struggles. Hey, there we are. It's showing me I have 2 live streams up. That's funny. When I click on my page, it shows me right now, hey, I got 2 live streams. All right. Now let's put my chat in front of me here so I don't look like I'm staring off into nowhere. How we doing on the Wii Boost here for a signal? We got 4. Can you guys see? Yeah, that see? That doesn't show anything. We got 4 bars of reception, so let's rock with this. Hold on, guys. Just dragging this chat bigger so I can see what you're saying. Bada boom, bada boom. Am I wearing my right glasses? Yep. My glasses look the same. It's hard to tell what's wearing what and who's wearing who. All right, you guys. So sorry for anybody who logged on to the live stream that just didn't kind of work out. But yeah, man, I am super excited that this van build stuff is over and we are back in a van that we can live in and sleep in without dust. And holy crap, it's getting hot in here. Oh. I was all set up in the back by the window with the fan on, but for some reason it kicked off my internet back there. All right. Jeff, Grumpy Old Van, thank you very much for the super chats. Vanlife Vagina, thank you very much. So now that I think we have a couple of more videos coming up for you guys with our van build stuff, then we are done here in Ontario. We've got, so the only videos I think you guys haven't seen yet, which will be coming up in a few days, are my lighting video. I don't remember what's coming up. Let me look at my computer. I'll let you guys know what's coming up. Yeah, my lighting video. That's pretty much all that's left to come up, and then we do a little bit of mechanical work, and then that's it for videos. Then we're back on the road. We're heading back towards Vancouver. We should be leaving here in about 1 week's time. I have a bunch of van tours to do. I think I have 7 van tours booked to be filmed, so I'm gonna have to bang out all those van tours, and as soon as all those tours are done, we are making our very slow trek back to Vancouver. I don't want to drive back to Vancouver fast. I figured if I can give it like a month and a half to get back, should make for some nice travels, some nice videos. And I'm really excited to getting back to making travel videos again. As much as it's fun to get all this van build stuff done and film all this stuff, it's also nice to take a bit of a breather, relax a little bit, and sit by the lake for a few nights. Damn, I could use a night sitting by the lake. Ram Pro Van Life, thank you so much for that. You ever come into Wisconsin? No. COVID, remember? COVID! We can't go anywhere. Where's Cruisy Bear? Cruisy is... Cruz. Hey, Bossy Bear. Hey. Boss. Cruisy. You're being summoned, bro. Hey. You're being summoned, Mr. CRUZ. That's about all you get. Head up. Then that's it. He has had himself some very we'll call them entertaining weeks. Over the last month of all the work and stuff we've been done, CRUZ has had a lot of like running around late nights, days where he hasn't, normally he sleeps a lot and just relaxes a bit, but lately it's been go, 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 and CRUZ has been awake a lot. Stephanie, thank you so much for the beer and bones. Super sweet of you. So yeah, I am actually going to be filming a video with Andy tomorrow. I figured since all this van build stuff is done, that I would get Andy to do a walkthrough of my van and the work that he's done over the last couple of years on this thing. So, because he did work last September and now the work was just done now in September. I figured I'd get him to walk through it because a lot of people have asked a lot of questions like what kind of wood is it, what kind of, latches, and a little bit of a deeper explanation. So tomorrow morning I'm going to be meeting up with Andy from Happy Camper Kits, and we're going to be filming like a recap video, and to let you guys know some of the prices and stuff like that all this stuff has cost me. By the way, I'm going down broke on this trip. I've been like, every time I turn around I keep taking on more projects or keep adding more things. Oh, but I got enough fuel to get home. That's all that matters, right? The van's looking good and we got enough to get home and enjoy a semi-warmer winter in Vancouver. Jeff, thank you so much for that. If you were a single 35-year-old woman, I'm not, well, maybe not, where would you take your first date for an epic hike with a view within... Oh, good question. Where would I take, see, and I don't know, I'm not much of a hiker. Oh, I read that wrong. If I was a 35-year-old man, I'm 45, that's close enough. And if I was gonna take a girl out on a date for a hike within 250 kilometers of Chilliwack, BC, I don't know. I don't know. Good question. I can't answer that. Rick Smith, thanks for the super chat. Iggy, thank you. Oh, so sweet with us every damn time. Thank you. Much appreciated. Am I going to update my door panels on the wall of my van? I've been really thinking about it because now everything in here is looking hyper fresh. I've been thinking about maybe redoing this same stuff that I have here that's on my doors, just giving them a bit of a refresh. So I might have to buy a new door anyway. So I have one door back here that has a chunk of rust on the bottom that we fixed about a year and a half ago. We re-welded a new piece on the bottom, refixed it all up, but there was no, so when he welded so I'm trying to explain this here. Here's the door panel from the outside. And on the bottom here, the metal comes all the way around and then attaches to the bottom of the door where the seal is. I'm not making any sense. But anyway, it's rotted right through here. So when he welded the new panel, he had nothing in here to weld it to because it's literally rotted. So it looked good from the outside, but now it's starting to break apart because it's getting a little bit weak and brittle. So I may have to buy one new door anyway if I ever... maybe over the winter or closer to spring, maybe I'll get the rust around this door taken care of. If I do replace that door, I will fix up all the door panels and make them all up nice and pretty because they're pretty banged up. Yeah. Oh, Ruthie, thank you, Ruthie. Hope this gets you home. So much love, Ruthie. I really appreciate it. Randall, thank you. Jeff, thanks, Jeff. Since you spend a lot of time in your driver's seat, have you ever thought about those super comfy looking captain's chairs that you see in RVs? Absolutely, yes, I have. There's a company out there that I actually looked at them from called Shop 4 Seats. So it's shop number 4 Seats. They actually have captain's chairs for this van, and they're a decent price. Like, you can get the driver's seat one in leather for like $600, all good, cushy with the dual armrests, and then you can get the vinyl ones for like $400, so like $800 for a set for both of them. The only reason why I was initially looking at those ones is because CRUZ's seat here is cloth, And I've tried seat covers, and CRUZ always seems to dig at them. He never likes them. So I've really wanted to put a vinyl one on this side just to kind of keep CRUZ's smell from being soaked into the seat all the time. But yeah, I have thought about those seats. Maybe next year. Ridgewater Homes, thanks for the super chat. Home is where you park it. You got that right. Nanaimo misses me. Tim, don't worry. I'll be back in Nanaimo. As soon as I get back from Vancouver, I'm pretty sure this winter I'll be spending a lot of time on Vancouver Island. On that note, on the note about Vancouver, I have been getting messages on Patreon, and I'm sure like there's been so many people asking on my YouTube comments, I'm sure, about Vancouver this winter. Because all the snowbirds in Canada can't go to the US anymore. There's no Canadian snowbirds crossing the border because of COVID. So I got a funny feeling Vancouver's going to get rocked this year with an abundant amount of RVs. Not so much the van lifers. Sure, there'll be van lifers out there. But it's all those big, huge RVs that always travel south. I got a funny feeling they're all going to be just loaded in Vancouver and Vancouver Island trying to avoid the snow. Whew, it's going to be kind of exciting to see how that all works out. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to get a little busy over there. Van City Adventure, thanks for the super chat. Chrome just got back from seeing John. He's doing well. He has enough food and clothing for a while. Awesome. So do you guys remember that broken down camper that I stopped to see in a video? That nobody stopped in to see him for a long time, and I gave him all the food out of my van, gave him some money. Well, Van City Adventure, which is, he's been in a few of my videos, he has just finished taking up a truckload of like clothes and blankets and food up to John because he's still stuck in the same position. So it's cool to know that some of our weirdo crew here is up there taking care of somebody who's stranded in the middle of nowhere. So Van City Venture, thank you so much for taking care of that. Really, really appreciate taking care of those people that are out there in need. Peace, Sal M, thank you so much. See you soon, Van Life, thank you. Really appreciate that. Linda, thank you so much for the love for CRUZ. Rico, thanks. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks to your one-day van build. Excuse me, I'm taking my E250 out for this weekend for the very first trip. Super cool. That one-day van build video is the one that started this entire channel. If it wasn't for that one video, this channel would not have been what it is now. Pretty thankful that the algorithm grabbed that one. Super cool. Oh, Gus is stuck up there. I haven't heard from Gus in a while. I didn't know he was stuck up there. Hey, Happy Camper Kits. Welcome to the live stream, bro. I'll see you tomorrow. How long have I officially been doing van life? As of September 11th was 3 years in the van. So I just started year number 4. And also year number 4 here on YouTube. 3 full entire years, and it's been the most beautiful thing I've ever done in my entire life. It's not a decision I've regretted, and it's not a decision I will ever regret. It's been probably the most incredible thing ever. Jeff asked, thank you so much for that, Jeff. What car was your first car you fell in love with that started my car obsession? Monte Carlo, in 1978 Monte Carlo. I seen my very first lowrider Monte Carlo. It had hydraulics and wire wheels, and that's the one I was like, oh damn. And shortly after that, I bought myself a 1985 Monte Carlo and turned it into the lowrider that I used to take to all the lowrider magazine car shows in Portland, Oregon, just across the border from us here. Super cool. Ruth, good question. Do you miss taking a bath? That was my favorite part about my condo, was coming home from work, pouring a glass of tequila and sitting in the damn bathtub. And do I miss the bath? No. Have I thought about a bath? Yeah, sure I have. But the reason why I say no is because last year at my buddy Daniel's house on Vancouver Island, I went and bought those nice bath bombs, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a bath. I haven't had one in a year or so. So I threw the bath bomb in the bathtub, and I was rather disappointed. It was not as soothing and relaxing as I remember it. Maybe it's because my condo was a special place and it was just me in there and the ambiance was right. And maybe just doing one in my buddy's basement wasn't so chill. But yeah, I you know, like, I would love to soak in a bath right now. It'd be great. Now I want to have a bath. Kevin Hill, thanks so much for the love. Chrome, love the new van layout. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm currently rebuilding a 1972 Skyline Nomad pull-behind camper. Super rad. For all the years, what is the best pair of sunglasses? I'm a Ray-Ban kind of guy, but right now I don't have an authentic pair of Ray-Bans. The Ray-Bans I have right now are just, they're fakies from Amazon. I haven't felt the need to drop like $150 on a pair of sunglasses. Am I still planning on putting fog lights in my van? Not really fog lights, but lights that are definitely coming. Guys, I gotta have a seat here. My legs are hurting. So this is kind of weird because I'm in a parking lot and here I am sitting in the front of my van doing a live stream. I feel like a weirdo. Does that light my face up better? Oh, that's way better. Now the whole, look at this, I'm in a parking lot. Now the whole parking lot can see that light on, and here I am just yapping with you guys. Oh, you know, it's all good. Just a weirdo in a van. Grumpy old van, thanks for the $2 for my portable bathtub fund. That's hilarious. Diane, thank you so much for that. Coffee and a bagel. Thanks for breakfast tomorrow. That's my usual breakfast, by the way. If I'm not out in the backcountry or out doing some traveling, coffee and a bagel, Tim Hortons. It's my thing. Where's Cruisy? Right there. Hey, little buddy. He's very much enjoying a lazy Sunday today. We've been super busy lately. Sorry, I'm looking over here, guys. Here's my setup today. So my laptop is over here. You guys are up here on the front of my thing. I'd like to go in the back of the van, but when I started my live stream, like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, it kicked me off and I was in the back. So far, I'm getting good reception up here. So I'm gonna stay up here. Whoa! All right. George Appleton, come back to Dundas soon. I'm in Dundas. I didn't go very far. Did I drink all the beer I got there? No, I still have a ton of it in the back of the van. So if you guys didn't catch that video, me, Rainer, and Madison went out for beers one night. I bought an entire flat of beer. Rainer bought an entire flat of beer, and then Madison picked up an entire flat for her brother. So we came back to the property I re-outfitted with 3 flats of craft beer from Sawdust Brewing in Gravenhurst, Ontario. What a good brewery. I suggest if you guys are out in Ontario, go visit that one. The beers are so damn good. I'm an IPA guy, so I really enjoy those IPAs. Joshua, thank you. Oh, you guys are so nice. Got any advice for starting van life? Just do it. Don't talk yourself out of it, and don't over plan your starting it. All depends on where you're at in your life. If you're starting out like I did and you didn't have a lot of money, don't overthink it. Buy your van, period. That's my only suggestion for starting. Buy your van. Deal with everything else after you own your van. And don't go crazy. So you guys know Jeffy Bear from Vancouver. He's been in a couple of my videos. He's the guy that carved this. Hold on. Sorry for the armpit shot. He's the guy that carved this for me. It's been sitting in my rearview mirror for, shoot, since 2019. So Jeff just bought himself a van. He used to be in an RV and then he found it was too big, so he bought himself a van. And what he's finding now that he's in his van is that he built a, you know, like a structure for his bed and everything else. And then he built a little thing for around his, this side of the wall for his kitchen. And then after a month later, you realize this doesn't work. So that's my advice when you start. Take it easy, take it slow, start with some plastic cabinets and some things. It's just simple. Like literally rough it for a couple of months until you figure out what that van feels like. Because if you've never been in a space this small, it's gonna take some time to realize what belongs where. So how I have mine set up with my kitchen here, you guys might hate your kitchen there, where this works for me. I don't have a sink, you guys might want a sink. I enjoy my cupboards up by the top of the feet of my bed, you guys might hate it. So like when you're watching van builds and you're liking what people are doing on YouTube, when you put it into practical use inside of your own van, you might find out that it sucks. Like you might copy my setup. Just say you do the exact same layout as me. You might realize a month after being in your van that Chrome's van layout is just garbage. But it's perfect for me, you know what I mean? So start slow. That's a, I've been, if you go back and watch my earlier videos, I've been saying that same thing since I was like 3-4 months in the van. Take it slow, take it easy, and learn your space. Shaggy D Diggity Dog. How much were my van upgrades at Happy Camper Kits? A lot. Like, a lot. A lot. We'll talk about that with Andy tomorrow. I'm going to be filming a video with Andy tomorrow, which should be coming out. Well, if we get that video filmed first thing in the morning, I might edit it and get it out to you guys tomorrow. So we'll talk about all the prices and everything like that as time goes on when it comes to tomorrow. I don't want to say anything right now. But as of right now, I think my van build, Andy might correct me on this one, but my van build from Happy Camper Kits, from what he did last year to what he did this year, is about $10,000–$11,000. But that's the cool thing about doing things piece by piece, is that you don't have to, like, you know what I mean? Like, put it all out there at once. You could take a year and save and then go get another chunk done. Like this year, I saved up a chunk, and then when I came back here, we did the pull-out back drawer and mounted my speakers and stuff in here. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, anytime you do custom work, it gets to be a bit expensive, because especially when you're like dealing with mounting speakers and stuff up here, that was like, yeah, we'll talk about that all tomorrow. My most painful tattoo would have to be this one, anywhere in here. Well, this one too. I had the same thing. I tattooed on both arms. But right inside that little gentle part right here, I just wanted to punch the tattoo guy in the face every damn time. Yeah, it hurts. What do I think my van weighs now? I don't know. So I know before I came out here on this trip, my van had 900 or 1,000 pounds left on the payload capacity. So I'm not sure right now. So you also got to realize something too, is that even if I'm right up at the top of my payload, if I'm up at the top of my payload, I also have upgraded suspension. So I have extra beefy leaf springs in the back. I have my front springs in the back, and the front of my van are from a Ford F550. So those great big giant huge trucks. So yeah, I mean, my van's a 250. So those springs are from the Ford No, that's the Ford F550. So they're really beefy. So my suspension in here can handle a lot more than what the payload capacity was on my van prior to me upgrading my suspension. Do you know what I mean? But I will be, as soon as I leave Ontario, I will be driving by and stopping at the very first weigh scale I see, and probably making a video on it, on how much all this stuff increased the weight inside of my van. I do know a lot of people, sorry guys. I do know a lot of people really focus on that weight inside of your van. It's never been something that I've thought about or has been on my mind. Everybody was like, well, those tires on your van are going to increase your gas mileage. Like, not gas mileage, like increase the cost of my fuel. And by putting this in there, now my whole fuel economy is going to be crap. If it's going to cost me, I don't know, if it's going to cost me another 5 cents or 2 cents per kilometer I drive to have more luxuries and conveniences inside of the van, it is so worth it. 100% so worth it. So if it costs me an extra penny per kilometer to put the rims and tires on my van, yeah. If it costs me an extra 5 cents to put that back pull-out tray in my van per kilometer, yeah. You know, you got to think of things that way too. When you're not paying rent, to have a little bit of extra weight in your van, it really, honestly, guys, it doesn't make a difference. If you're really pinching pennies and counting pennies down to that kind of a penny, then slow down on your driving. It's the easiest way to put it. If you're finding that these luxuries are costing you maybe an extra $20 a month in fuel, then just slow down on what you drive. I never really noticed a difference. Like, I still fuel up about the same. I don't really notice that, oh my gosh, now my van is completely like sucking fuel like crazy. I travel so much on this channel. I'm always on the move and always doing things, so my fuel is probably the most expensive part about making YouTube videos, is the fuel. Sorry guys, I'm missing a whole lot of your guys' stuff in here. Matt Vanner, thanks for the love. Appreciate that. Gemini, thanks for the super chat. Oh, I love that. Joshua, thank you. Godfather of van life. Super sweet. Shaggy D, thank you. Now that you have a side window, why not make the back door visible? Just get it tinted for privacy. My back windows have 3 layers of limo tint on it. Like the back ones, 3 layers of limo tint. But one thing I do know from being in my van this long is that those back windows are useless. Like, I wish they weren't even there. Like, I completely wish they weren't even there. Because, how do I explain this? Having the back windows, they're so far back there, and when you park somewhere, everybody can see in the back of your van. So when I put 1 layer of tint on it when I moved into it, I didn't like it because you could see through. So I put 2 layers of limousine tint on it. Yeah, still could see through. I put 3 layers on it. Yeah, still could see through. That's when I covered them. And I don't miss the back windows being covered. I don't miss them at all because they're just a window that doesn't open. It's a piece of glass, and I honestly can't stand them. If I could get the back doors with no windows, I would definitely do that for sure. But the side window, I have a cover on the side window, so I don't want to bring my phone in the back, but I'll show you guys that in an upcoming video. When Andy cut out my video, when Andy cut out that trim for my window, the inside piece that went around it, I took it. So when the window's up in there, I take that piece and it pops right in the window and completely blacks it out. It's pretty damn cool. It's a piece of wood with the exact cut of the inside. So I do have a covering for that one. So if I'm ever somewhere and I need it darker, I just pop that thing in there and call it, you know, be done with it. But when I get back to Vancouver, I might get that side back window tinted just a little bit more because it's got a light tint on it and you can literally see straight into my bed. But yeah, back windows I think in the van are useless. I'm not the only one that thought that. We had this discussion at Ray Outfitted the other day, and even in their van, just like, you know, back windows are completely useless. Am I glad to have my bed back? Oh, heck yes. And if you guys have noticed in videos, even when I was at Ray Outfitted, I dragged my bed in and out of my bed in and out of the van for a long time. And then when we were putting the heater and stuff like that in my van, we had to pull the bed in and out. It was just like, I am so glad to have a bed frame back. And I was super stoked that even Happy Camper Kits took the time that one day to quickly rush, I shouldn't say rush, but quickly get through the project, work an extra few hours in the day so I could have a bed back that night. I really appreciated it, even though I would have been super cool with just sprawling out on the floor for another night. So as long as you were charged only for the upgrades you requested, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, any van builder is not going to go ahead and do projects that you didn't ask for. You know what I mean? They're not going to go out of the way to do a project and then just throw the bill at you. Anything that you do with a van builder, so just say like this time at Happy Camper Kits, you go there, you make a plan, you plan out the project, and if anything changes while you're there, so does the quote change. So you don't progress forward, and like do things that are just not on your initial build. You know what I mean? Those things are discussed along the way. So as things get more crazy and I'm like, well, can we do this? Then he adds a price tag to it, lets me know what it is, and then we continue. Same thing with doing stuff at Ray Outfitted. If things go on and I'm like, well, can we do that? He's like, yeah, that's going to run you an extra $250. I'm like, okay, just do it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the van builder guys are really, really, really good about putting things down for you guys in detail so you know what you're going to get at the end of it. How did I repurpose my Weirdos Unite drawer front and the other drawer fronts? Andy's decorated his shop. He's got the Weirdos Unite tied to a piece of rope thing and it's just sitting up. Yeah, Andy's got them at his place. How much solar am I running? I have 300 watts of Renogy solar on the roof of my van. The reader, thanks for the super chat. Super cool. Isabel, thank you so much for that. How and why do magnets work? It's a good question. That I don't know. Is my dad still around? No, my dad passed away when I was like 19, something like that. I was pretty young. Oh shit, somebody asked me a funny question. Super hilarious. Hey Garrett, glad you caught a live stream, buddy. Fix floors? A few people asked me that in videos. How come when I came out here this time and some of my cabinets are out, why didn't I redo the floor in my van? So because the flooring in my van has been in here since I very first moved into it 3 years ago. So my floor is just a foam liner on the floor, which was like, it's a pre-molded cut piece for my floor. It's from Vantread. It's called Van Bed by Vantread or Vantread by something. Anyway, it's just it's a bed flooring. So, and that's just the regular mat that you would use in a cargo van. And then above that, I put one layer of just like vinyl flooring that you get at Home Depot that's on the rolls. So I put that on there. And then when I was at Happy Camper Kits last year, I did another layer of it because mine had gotten ripped a bit a few times. But some people asked me why I didn't, while the cabinets were out of the van, do an insulated layer and a sheet of plywood on top, then put new flooring down before these new cabinets went in. The reason is because I don't have the roof height to sacrifice. So because of the way my floor is, my bed and ceiling is at perfect height to sit directly upright when I'm sitting in my bed at my editing desk. If I were to lose another inch on my floor, my head would be like this in my bed. I don't have the space to sacrifice. And that's some things you got to think about is like when you're in a low roof van, anytime you build thicker this way, you lose out on all your space. So it wouldn't have been so bad if I didn't, because my roof has about a 1/2 inch between the support ribs. There's about 4 support ribs that go crossways, and then about a 1/2 inch layer in between. But I put another 1/2 inch of insulation below the ribs. So if I didn't have that insulation below the ribs and I bolted this wood straight to the metal, I'd have the room to do a thicker floor. But those are little things you kind of like, you really got to think about. Like, your space in here is very valuable. Every time you go in a 1/4 inch, you're just boxing in your van 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch more. So that's why I never redid the floors. I really haven't noticed the need for a fully insulated floor with a sheet of plywood. My floor is kind of soft on the knees and I kind of like it. Sure, the foam is like getting a bit beat up that I can start to feel the ribs on the floor in a few spots, but the softness feels a lot better than being on a really hard floor. Emily asks if Andy would consider selling those dog bowl holders. The answer to that is absolutely yes. Everything Andy has done to my van, he will be able to sell it once his website is up and going. So if anybody wanted to buy a dog bowl just like CRUZ got, you should be able to order that from the Happy Camper Kits website when it gets released. It should be released soon. They're working on it right now. I don't say as we speak, but they are working on it currently right now. They're hoping to have that thing up as soon as they can. But yeah, you'll be able to buy that 4-foot drawer slide that pulls on my back. You'll be able to order that from his website. It's pretty cool. The kilometers on my van are 270,000 kilometers. Is Andy single? No, Andy is not single. He has a very beautiful woman in his life. Vicky, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, I have been in an electric car. Drinks? Sure, water. Do I get commission on all this stuff he sells from my van? No. So, for those of you that don't really know the whole story behind me and Andy, Andy reached out to me last year and he built artwork and like little cool pieces for museums and stuff like that. And Andy offered to build my van out at no charge last year. So I paid for the materials and stuff like that. But so because of my van being on video, Andy had the opportunity to take the influx of emails from my videos and start a division of his company called Happy Camper Kits. So because of his generosity with me, he now has a business doing van builds, which is super rad. And I love it that he's got the energy to run with it, because people fail in that part. They get access to a bit of an audience and some publicity and they do nothing with it. Not Andy. Andy was like straightforward, focused, and just ran with it like 100%. So yeah, so this year I paid for all the work that happened this year. This was not a donation this year, but I did get the friends discount. You know what I mean? So I did get a bit of a break on the price, but I did pay like a lot. So, but yeah, so am I going to get commission off everything coming forward? No. Andy has done enough for this guy, let me tell you. But that's the cool thing about having a channel though, is that you get to work out deals with people like you guys see my van. My van has progressed a lot in the last little while. It's because every time I want to add something to my van, if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to reach out to that company. So like my roof racks, I'm like, all right, let's just reach out to the company. I'm like, hey guys, look, I see you're Canadian. I'm Canadian. You guys interested in working a deal with me on my channel? You know, I'm not asking for products for free, but if they give me a break enough on the price, I'll tell my channel where I got it from. So I do that a lot with a lot of things in my van because, I mean, one, it's a good relationship between me and other Canadian companies. I'm big on supporting Canadian business. Huge. Just like everybody in the US is like, let's keep it American. Well, I'm the same way. Let's keep things local. So with a lot of things that I do, I team up with those companies because it helps us all. And if we can help each other, like I've got an audience, you know what I mean? And if you know, I'm going to buy the product anyway, so why not work a deal with a company and get a bit of a break on the price? So, Stephanie, thanks for joining YouTube memberships. Welcome to the Weirdo Crew. I love it that it notifies me on here when someone joins YouTube memberships. Super rad. How's the soundproofing on the wheel wells? The soundproofing on the wheel wells was mainly for a bit of insulation on there, because when Andy put his cabinets in right over the top of the wheel wells there, I wanted that for storage space, and I didn't want to have reflectix on there because it looks like garbage. So I did 3 or 4 layers. I just mishmashed. I think there's like 3 layers on there, we'll say that to be safe, of that soundproofing stuff. So what it is just got foil on one side and a rubber backing on the other. It's like a tar sort of. And I didn't really do it for the soundproofing, even though it's going to give me soundproofing benefits because that's what it is. So I do actually hear less road noise when I drive. So like you get the humming of the tires, there's less of the sound of the humming coming from back here because of that. But that's not the intention. The intention was just to insulate it a little bit, keep the air from inside the van away from touching the actual metal on the wheel well itself. When will I make a DJ mix live? I can't on YouTube because it breaks copyright laws. Oh, Happy Camper Kids is getting lots of love in here, man. Super cool. Have I ever thought about putting a wood-burning stove in my van? The answer to that is completely no. The reason why I would never put one in my van or any van that I own, 1, insurance. Becomes a problem. If you ever have a problem in your van and you have a wood-burning stove, insurance is going to say, you have a wood-burning, bye. You can kiss that goodbye. But the reason why I wouldn't do it is because I know lots of people that have them. And I also know a lot of people who have had a lot of problems who have them. The problems are, if you're not boondocking in the woods or way out in cold desert land somewhere or wherever you are, you light a fire inside of your van, the apartment across the street from you sees smoke coming from a van, they're going to be like, what is going on? 911, there's a fire in a van. I have known probably 5 people, maybe 6, that have told me that they've had the fire department show up at their vehicle or a cop show up at their vehicle because someone has reported smoke coming from the vehicle. Those are the things you got to think about. Not everybody understands what that stack is on the top of a van. People are like, why is that van smoking? They don't know. They don't know if that's just an air thing or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So those are some things you have to keep in mind, is like where you're going to be living in your van and if you can get away with a wood stove, right? If you're doing a lot of backcountry stuff, great. I know a girl, I actually bumped into her in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. She has a regular heater in her van, I think she has like a Wabasto heater in her van, like the dry air one. And she has a wood stove. So she has both. One for when she's in the city and one for when she wants that little cabin sort of feel, which I think is a really smart way to go. So it's not going to be your 100% primary heater, but you can use it for those little cozy nights by the fire kind of nights. That would be kind of cool. But definitely not in this van for sure, because I ain't got the room. Ain't no way. If no fireplace, then what style of heater you use and why? So let's back this up a little bit. A majority of my van life, I've used the Olympian Wave 3 heater. It is such a rock star of a heater. That thing was propane, but probably the most driest propane heat source out there. I really liked it. It was a good heater at a good price point. Now I am using a dry air heater. So I have a Wabasto gasoline heater. So mine is tapped into my van's gas tank. So I have no extra fuel, no extra nothing. As long as my van is full of fuel, I will have heat out of my heater, which is such a beautiful thing. And the heater will work as long as my gas tank is above a quarter of a tank, or just below a quarter, wherever that limit is. But there's a limit on there, so the gas tank can never run me dry in the van. So as long as the gas tank is like above a quarter of a tank, I'll always have fuel no matter where I am, and I never run my gas tank that low. It's extremely rare. I'm always the guy that'll like, oh, it's half tank, let's stop at the gas station, or it's down a quarter of a tank, I'll go through 30 bucks in, top it up and keep going. I really got into that habit a lot lately. Jeff asks, what does the V&M stand for in Ray Outfitters logo? That's the initials on both of their last names. Ruthie, good question. How many kilometers was my trip up one side of BC and down the other? I don't know. I did track my kilometers on this trip, but that one I didn't. It's actually, believe it or not that long. Like, to drive up one side of the province, across the top of the province and back down, believe it or not, was not as far as I thought it was. I do plan on doing that trip. I would like to do that trip again, maybe after the snow goes away. I'm not sure what my plan is for next year, but oh my gosh. But this time, if I ever do that trip, I'm going to be better planned out for it. Because when I did that one, I wasn't expecting so much no cell phone service. And without a cell phone connection, no cell phone, no videos, no money. So I will definitely go back there and be a little bit more prepared next year. Casey, thanks for joining YouTube memberships. Jim, thanks for the love. I appreciate that. Would I carry fuel on my roof rack? Probably not. Yeah, I don't like the idea about carrying additional fuel in my van. You know what I mean? Like, because I removed the spare tire out from underneath my van, I have enough room to put an expansion tank for my gas tank. So if I do find I'm doing more adventurous back road driving, I may utilize that space for an additional fuel tank to carry an extra however many liters in the van here. So, you know, if I'm deep in the backcountry, I've got an extra stack in the back of my secondary tank. Because the spare tire underneath my van, that whole tire, I have that whole space where the old spare used to be that's wide open right now. Those are good questions, man. You guys, I like live streams like this one where the questions are really, really, really good. Because I do get some live streams where it's just like, good job, you guys. I like this stuff. It keeps the conversation going, which is great. How am I liking the new window? Oh my gosh, absolutely changed the game in the van. The van is more comfortable, it feels bigger, and it's nice in the morning when you're like editing a video and all of a sudden like the sun's shining through the window. It just makes this space feel like the walls are 10 feet wider than they were. I absolutely love it. And I am actually going to make a video on this subject. Will I ever raise the roof of my van? The answer to that is no. Heck no. That is probably my number 2 question ever on my channel. Question number 1 is, when you come into the US? Question number 2 is, why don't I put a high top on my van? The reason why I will never put a high top on my van is because the cost of the high top is more than I paid for the van itself, and to me, that's not worth it. Sure, if I were to buy another van with a quarter of the kilometers that are on mine and 0 rust, and I had to start this whole thing all over again, maybe I might spend the $7,000 to get a high top. And some people are gonna say, high tops aren't that expensive. They're about $5K US, which is like 6,500 Canadian. Plus the commute down to North Carolina to get it done, or wherever Fibrine is, somewhere down there, California maybe, to go down there to go get it. Plus the hotel stays I'm gonna have to stay in while my van has got no roof in it, getting the roof done. It's very expensive. So just the thought of, even if it was $5,000 Canadian, I still wouldn't do it. No, there's no way. And another reason why is I like my low roof. There is nothing wrong with having a low roof fan. I'm happy, I'm comfortable, I can sit straight up right in it, and if I want to stand up, I go outside. There's the entire planet out there for me to go stand up in. But yeah, no, I mean, I think everybody's got it like so stamped in their head, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. You know, like I wouldn't have done all this work to my van. I wouldn't have done the roof rack system and everything that's done. You should see the stuff in the next few videos. You're gonna be like, holy crap, Chrome, that's awesome. I wouldn't have done any van upgrades in my van this year if I knew I wanted a high top van. I'm riding this van out for the long haul. I'm hoping to maybe squeeze another 3 more years out of this van. I'd be stoked on that. Yeah, been in it for 3. Man, I'd be stoked if I got another 5 years out of it. I'd probably get a lot more out of it, but I'm sure by that time I'm gonna want something else. Yeah, I know. I find that in a lot of people, they just always have this, well, I can't do it because I need. Because there's always like 2 things that just don't go good together is I can't do it because I need something. You don't need the things you need. You'd be surprised on how functional a low roof van can be. Can I talk about my mobile internet on the road? Absolutely. So I have this little box here that we're running this connection on right now. It's called a MiFi. So it has a SIM card in it and it's running on a cellular data plan. I live in Canada. We don't get really good data plans out here. So even my cell phone has 50 gigs of data, unlimited. 50 gigs fast, unlimited data at a really bad throttled speed. Like it's pretty much useless. So I have an additional 50 gigs on this thing. This is a new addition to our world. This gets mounted over here on the wall, giving me a hotspot in the van. So the cool thing about it is my van now, because of that little MiFi box, feels like my apartment used to. Like when I get up in the morning, I flip my laptop open, it logs into that little MiFi box and boom, I have internet. Right? I'm gonna have to see how things go when it comes to data usage, but right now I'm spending a lot of money on data. Right now I'm doing about $250 for data, and I don't blink at that because I need it to make everyday YouTube videos. Like right now, we would not be live streaming if it wasn't for that data. I'd have to rely on some kind of a connection from a coffee shop somewhere, and hopefully that when they close, because it's getting dark outside, hopefully that when they close, they don't shut the internet off and we lose the live stream. So now having the ability to have data in my van from this little tiny box, just look them up, it's MiFi, and I think you can just connect you just pop your SIM card in it, like your regular like card from your provider. And they have data plans just for these things, which are better data plans, or they're cheaper actually than your cellular data plans. Not by much, but they're cheaper when you go over. But yeah, this is like $200, I think, or something like that, plus the card that goes in it. Yeah, I'm jealous of some of you Americans sometimes because you guys have way better data plans than we do here in Canada. People tell me all the time about their data plans, and it's insane. Ross, thanks for the love. Don't panic, thank you. Is it really cheaper to live in a van than buying a house or a condo? Yes. Absolutely yes. Holy heck yes. You know, but I mean, like, that also depends on where you are too, because, you know, if you want to buy an apartment in Vancouver, you're looking at $750,000 to $1 million for a 500 square foot condo. But if you're way out in the middle of nowhere, like I know people that are in like the east coast of Canada that are buying houses for $65,000 or $125,000. That's insane to me, because in Vancouver, that's like what they're asking you for your like couple percent down payment. But yeah, living in your van is always cheaper than living in a house, hands down, any day. And if it's not cheaper, or even if it is the same price, living in your van is going to be way more fun. Because you're home, you're going to be exciting in your first week, and then you have to realize after week number 2 that, man, I've been looking at the same view for 2 weeks now, and then 2 years are going to go later, and you're like, still the same view, it hasn't changed. And your mind's going to go numb, and you're going to be like, ugh, this house sucks. Do you know what I mean? We're living in a van, you could change up everything every day. Every day is the pace that you want it to be at. You can have a fast-paced day, you can have a slow-paced day, you can have a day by the lake, a day by the river, and a day in the city, a day in the country. It's going to be way more fun. So, but on that note too, it's not always cheaper than renting. Your van life is going to be as expensive as you want it to be. Like on this trip, I have spent so much money, it's ridiculous, on my van home. but it's upgrades that I've always been dreaming about and have always wanted. So for me to put the money into my van home, it's a no-brainer. Like, things have been doing really good with us here on YouTube, you know what I mean? Like, there's been, like, we're growing fast, the views are up, the ad revenue is actually higher than it was pre-pandemic, which is crazy insane. So, you know, I've taken some of that money now that we've got a bit of savings, and I just invested it back into my home to make it a better place, to make it more fun for us to go out and make videos. Super cool. Caveman, thank you so much for that. Appreciate the love. Oh, Brian, thank you. Super rad, man. Bro fist. If I were to get another van, what would it be? I don't know. Like, I've talked about this subject a lot in my live streams, but I'm in love with my van right now. I couldn't imagine being in another one. I wouldn't want to be in another one. Like, it's crazy because I think when the excitement for being in your van diminishes a bit, like maybe you've been in your van for a couple of years, now you're kind of getting bored of your van, I think making epic upgrades like I have will change your van. Like, when my van went and got lifted, I was like, okay, that's cool. It's nice to have a few extra inches of play when I'm in the backcountry. Then when I tossed those big chunky tires and rims on it, now my van went from being a cargo van to something badass. Like, I remember in the first week of having, you know, the wheels and stuff you see on my van, people are like, yo, your van's really cool, man. I'm in the cop shop. I'm like, thanks, man. You know, it's cool that it's getting noticed for off-road and fun and adventure instead of just being a van with a vent on the roof. You know what I mean? So I think as your van life progresses, instead of looking for the next van, think about what you can do to your current van, because it's cheaper to make upgrades to your current van than it is to buy another $45,000 or $50,000 van. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for me to all of a sudden plan out wanting to buy a brand new all-wheel drive Ford Transit and have it cost me $50K, $60K or whatever, it's just better to spend the 5 or 10 grand on this one and get another few stack of years out of it. And I'm stoked on all the upgrades we've made. All these upgrades are going to absolutely change everything. They're going to make making videos more fun. And I always think about that when it comes to an upgrade. I'm not making selfish upgrades. I'm always thinking about my channel and the adventures that we're going to go on and how much these upgrades are going to change my life and also the life of us here on the channel. Retro Dreamin', thanks for the love. All blind views, man. Thanks for the love, man. Welcome to the live stream. Super cool, man. How about upping my van security? I have a lot of van security. I don't talk about it because it's nobody's business. All I gotta say, guys, is smile, you're on camera. And if this van ever moves an inch, I got you tracked on my cell phone. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, those are upgrades I've seen other van life channels talk about, is what they do for security and their camera system, where their cameras are. You don't talk about that stuff, because if they know, then they know. So I've never said nothing. But yeah, the Ray Outfitted has been installing these camera systems in other people's vans lately, and they're super cool because, like, they but I think there's like a 5-camera system or whatever, but it's awesome because they're mounted on the outside. So if you're ever navigating through some narrow things, you can use all those camera points on the monitor inside as your reference, which is super cool. I'd be intrigued to do that one maybe on the next van. Probably wouldn't do that one on this one. Maybe next year. You guys are so good, man. I love the love. Are you looking forward to heading back to BC and your normal solitude on the road? Oh my gosh, Ruthie, heck yes. I was actually telling the crew at Ray Outfitted that I'm like, I love your hospitality. I love being around everybody because I've been at their property the longest. So I got there August 15th, and then just recently we were at Happy Camper Kits for the entire week. But I've been there the most. So it's been nice to be around people. I've enjoyed the hospitality. I've loved the group dinners we've been having. So all of us who've been sitting down around tables at night having dinner, and that's been really nice, but I do miss my solitude. I really love my time alone. That's where I feel the most creative. Because when you're around people all the time, there's so many things dragging your attention everywhere. So I know when I get back on the road after this, it's probably going to take me a week to just shed all the ruckus and all the busyness to be able to narrow things back down and get back to my normal creative process. And yes, I'm so stoked to get up and just share my mornings with you, turning the camera on and filming everything, because I love that part of my channel when I just literally film my entire day, and then at the end of the day I get to edit that video and turn it into some kind of a cool story to share with you guys. Yes, I miss it, Ruthie, very much. Why did I choose a van over an RV? That is such an easy question to answer, because it's easier to park and I can put it anywhere, right? There's no, I'm within all parking spots. I can park between two parking meters downtown. I fit down every trail in the back country. No problem. Not every trail. Some of them are a little bit, you don't want to shove your van down some of them. But you know what I mean? I fit down the narrow trails. I fit down the ones where the trees are growing over a little lower. It's because the van is just easier to run around and maneuver when you're in a van versus an RV. Once you're in an RV, your lifestyle is going to be different than mine. Because in an RV, you can't pull it downtown Toronto. You just can't. It's just, where are you going to park it? Because you're just too big. So when you're in an RV, you end up getting stuck more in back industrial roads or in like Walmart parking lots or larger areas where your RV can be parked. You can't exactly go to a doctor's appointment and pull up to the doctor's office in your RV. That's not possible. You're gonna have to find somewhere around that area that you can park it. But that's why, because vans are just maneuverable and they're everywhere. And I would say you probably get less hassle in a van than you would in an RV, because, you know, if you ever hear anything in the news about van life, it's the RVs. It's the RVs that are just like, they all accumulate together because they just found a place that they can actually park that 29-foot beast. I should have saw Niagara Falls. Yeah, actually, I'm about a 45-minute drive from Niagara Falls right now. I've honestly been avoiding anything very social on this trip outside of the little, we call it the COVID bubble that we've been hanging around with. Because I've been doing business with businesses, they have protocols and policies that I need to follow because I've been semi-living on the property. So I need to follow their legal stuff for this, because businesses have a pretty high thing for what they can do and what they can have. So me as a customer of theirs, I have to follow their policies. So I haven't been going very far or doing anything. But now that all my work is done, we've got a couple more videos with Ray Outfitted coming up, but now that most majority of the work's done, I'm now going out and starting to film all the van tours that I didn't at the beginning, and going out and seeing a few people that I couldn't see at the beginning because it was outside of our little COVID bubble, let's just call it that. Oh, I'm missing lots of stuff in my comments here. People are chatting with each other. Are there any bucket list places or experiences I'm looking? No, I have nothing on my bucket list. I'm the kind of guy that I would rather just do it than dream about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never had things I've dreamt about. Oh, I have to go here or I have to go there. Those are things that pop in my mind. I'm like, well, let's just do that now. I've always been that person. Did I tell the insurance company I live in my van? No, I didn't. So, because there's only really a couple types of insurance you could do in a van. One is regular insurance. One is turning your van into an RV, but both of them represent their own separate sort of problems. So I know I found in BC, I don't know if they're Canada-wide or not, but you can insure your van as a regular van, and you're allowed to insure. Okay, I made a video about this, but I didn't state this point until I found out it was true, but it is true. So in British Columbia, Canada, they will cover the cost of your van and up to $5,000 for anything that is bolted to your vehicle that you have receipts for. So because I have receipts for everything done at Happy Camper Kits, they will cover anything bolted to the van up to $5,000 over my regular insurance plan. Anything else is a total loss. But there is an insurance company out there called, I don't remember, Guardian, something like that, in BC, that does insure camper vans. So they insure the contents of your camper van above your ICBC insurance. So yeah, that makes sense. I haven't looked into it yet. I've thought about it, because if someone breaks my van and I lose my cell phone or my laptop, it's all that's really valuable that's in here, or maybe my speakers and stuff, I can insure that through that secondary insurance. I haven't done it yet because I really don't travel very far from my van. Like, me and my van we stay pretty close together. Where's CRUZ? Mr. Cruisy is still passed out sleeping right there in the Cruisy. Buddy. Hey, bro. YouTube's asking about ya. He's like, leave me alone, Dad. I'm sleeping. I love this, man. You guys have been really... We have 1,500 people on this live stream. 1,500. I've never had 1,500 people on a live stream before. We've had 1,000. We've had 1,100. But this is a new record. A total new record. How much did I spend on my cabinetry and Happy Camper kits? So a majority of the upgrades that were done on my van this time was about $5,000. We'll talk about all that in a video that I'm going to be filming with Andy tomorrow. And if we get done early enough, I will edit and upload that video tomorrow. So that way all my Happy Camper kits videos are all together. And we'll talk about the cost of everything in that video when I film it with him, because I'm going to have Andy walk through my entire van build, kind of walk through it all, talk about everything, talk about what kind of wood he used and all that kind of stuff. So if we get it done early enough and I can get it done, you guys will be seeing that one tomorrow. How's my mom doing? My mom's doing really good. I talked to her the other day. She's been in really good spirits. It's been really weird. This is weird to say, because she was in and out of the hospital a lot with her diabetes. She wasn't taking care of herself, and believe it or not, it took them cutting her leg off. So she lost her leg from just below the knee down. And it took that happening for my mom to smarten up. She's been in really good spirits lately. She went through a little bit of a phase after that, because that's a bold thing to lose. But she's doing really, really, really good. I've never called my mom in the last 2 years and have heard her be so excited. You know what I mean? She's doing really, really, really well. Sir Stickman, thank you so much for the love. I know you're stocked up, but here's some more beer money. Super awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Todd, let's hear the stereo. The only thing that's crappy is it doesn't do any justice. You can play the stereo on a YouTube video and it would never do any justice. And the way I have my stereo connected right now is I have to plug in my DJ gear in order to use it. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks, after I get away from all my filming projects that I still have coming up in the next week, after I get away from all that stuff, I'm going to hook that system up so I can plug my cell phone into it, so I can use it as just like a regular speaker. You know what I mean? I'm actually looking into the little, I guess someone told me on a YouTube video, you can get these little Bluetooth connectors. So I plug in the Bluetooth connector to a stereo, and then I can connect my phone to the Bluetooth. So I don't need a cable or anything like that. So I'm going to look into that and see what the sound quality is like running that cable, but running that Bluetooth. But yeah, as of right now, I actually have to pull my DJ controller out, set up my laptop, plug in my hard drive and all that stuff. So yeah, we won't be doing that on the live stream. Tell us more about my new fridge. I love it. Absolutely love it. And it's funny though, because this is also one of those videos that are on my video to make list. Everybody told me that a fridge would change my life. Everybody was like, as soon as you get that fridge chrome, you're gonna wonder what you ever did without it. And I want to say that they were right, but they were wrong. They were right, they were wrong. They're kind of right, but kind of wrong. So I have a fridge freezer combo in my van. So part of it's the bigger parts of fridge, the smaller parts of freezer. Or I could reverse them, do the bigger part fridge, smaller part freezer, whatever I wanted. But it's not the fridge that changed my life, because the fridge does the same thing my cooler used to do. Keeps things cool. Sure, maybe not going through ice is a bonus. Not really a deal breaker for me. I didn't mind the extra effort to get ice every few days or every week, depending on what type of year it was never really a stress thing for me or a thing I ever worried about money-wise. What changed my life was that damn freezer. So for all of you looking at getting a fridge, you may want to think about getting a fridge freezer, because right now there is nothing more cool than grabbing ice cream out of my freezer or buying a bunch of stuff and leaving it in the freezer. So like yesterday, I wanted like these little chimichangas. Well, I have a whole stack of them in my freezer. So all I had to do is just grab a couple of chimichangas, leave them out on the counter. You know, like I pulled them out in the morning, left them on the counter, then I put them on the frying pan, heated them up for lunch, bada boom. Where before, when I used to buy those things, like I'd have to eat them right away because they would only last so long in my fridge because they came from a freezer. Then I'd have to eat them really quick. So the cooler, and I used to buy like little mini pizzas before and put them in my cooler. Well, and then you'd have to eat those mini pizzas like right now because they're thawing as we speak. So yeah, having the fridge is a total game changer. So if you ever hear people say get a fridge freezer. That's just my advice to you. If you're the kind of person that like, because I went and bought like hamburger the other day and I just literally put the hamburger in the freezer. Or like if I were to ever buy bacon or anything like that, instead of like having to eat it all right away, I can now break the bacon up into serving size packages and just leave them in the freezer. Bonus. Oh, some of my fingers pissing me off. Sorry guys. About to take my knife to my finger. Touristique to Canada, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for the super chat. Ruthie, you have been giving us so much damn love lately, Ruthie. I super appreciate that. Oh, that's super great. Looking forward to the solitude videos. Take care. Ruthie, thank you. Ruthie likes me better when I'm out there by myself being lonely in the bush. Thanks, Ruthie. That's okay. I miss those times too. What I find though is when me and CRUZ are out there roaming around, just being me and CRUZ, I find that I'm a bit more emotionally connected to my travels when we're alone. You know, I find that, you know, those experiences are a little bit more raw when it's me. You know, and I love it that my little homie's by my side all the time and walking with me in places we go. But I really find those things a lot more emotionally attaching than it is when you're with other people. You know, having friends and stuff, being around friends is fun. Like, I've gained quite a bond with the crew at Ray Outfitted. And now being out here spending some more time with Andy was really cool. But it's always nice to be around friends. But I've never been the kind of guy that's always been good with people. Like, I've been a DJ my whole life, so for me, being on stage and rocking a crowd full of hundreds of people, easy peasy. But it's always been me with my headphones on in the DJ booth in solitude, doing my thing. Nobody around me, maybe a few girls kicking around the booth here and there, but I'm in my headphones doing me. So that's what this trip has been a lot different than any other time I've ever been in my life. I've never spent a month with somebody where every morning there's people around me. Every morning is Madison, Rainer, and and John. Never. And then Madison's brother has been out there because he works at the shop there as well too. It's the first time in my life I've ever been around this much people for this long, and it's been really good. But I like being alone. I thrive when I'm by myself. Is that a weird thing to say? I find I'm more creative alone. Which one do I like? Do I like better being in town or out in the bush? I need a combination of both in order for me to be happy. I find I do good in the backcountry for like a week, maybe less. Then I got to come back into town for a couple of days just to catch up on some things, grab some groceries and stuff. But I don't know. I'm kind of either way. Like there's some times that I really just feed on the city, that I really feed on just needing to be around people, like not even like around friends, but just being around the chaos and the ruckus of a city. Then there's times where I just want to be alone. So that's a really tough one. It's kind of like when I first started van life, it was like 100% city, screw the backcountry, there's dirt. And that's true. I was a full-blown city boy when I started van life. Then as I started to settle into van life, it took me about a year before I started to realize how cool dirt was. A year. And then when I realized how fun going down those dirt roads were, I started to embark down them a little bit more. So I think I went from being full-blown city boy to about 50-50. I'm probably more bush guy now, but 50-50. I really enjoy both of them. Ashley, thanks for joining YouTube memberships. Good question. Chrome, do you have to enclose that new heater? No. So the new heater, it is kind of, okay, it's not enclosed, but you have to keep the heater hose that goes into the front of the heater that expels the hot heat. You have to keep that away from other things being around it. And there is a section behind that heater where it needs a bit of airflow to pull in some air. But everything in that Webasto gasoline heater that I have, all the combustion is done outside the van. So it pulls in air from outside to do the combustion to create the heat. Then it exhausts it out the bottom. And the only thing that's inside is it just blows the heat into the van. So you don't have to like enclose them for safety reasons. You just got to keep things from touching the heat exhaust pipe that goes into the front of my van. So right back there in the corner, right there, and right there, round thing, that's my Webasto heater. That's where the heat comes out of. I will do a full-blown video coming up on that Webasto heater once I've had the chance to actually use it for a while. The weather has dipped down a few nights out here, so I've had the chance to turn the heater on, and let me tell you guys, holy crap, what a difference from going from propane my whole life to now using a dry heater. Oh my freaking gosh, it feels so cozy, like an apartment or a house. It's... Let me put it this way. I am really glad that I did van life the way I did it. I'm really glad that I started broke. And I'm glad that I went through all the stages that I did as slow as I did. Glad I started with the buddy heater. Glad I went to the Olympian Wave 3. Glad now I spent just about $2,000 on a really good quality dry air heater after installation costs and stuff like that. But I'm glad I went through those phases, because going through those phases allows me to know what all those other heaters felt like. You know what I mean? And it makes me appreciate this heater that much more. So I know a lot of people that just build this epic van with all the luxuries straight out of the gate, and they don't know what it's like to do this broke. I'm not saying everybody should start broke, but I think everybody should start simple, you know what I mean? And kind of start to learn the luxuries that you can have in your van with time. So I don't know if that made any kind of sense. Van Life Shorts, thanks for the love. For all the newbies, go back and see the earlier videos from the beginning and watch his journey. You got that right, heck yes. Videos 98 to 101 stole my heart. Now I'm gonna have to go watch that. So yeah, guys, Van Life Shorts, thank you for that. My earlier videos, I have a playlist called Binge Watch It All. Trust me, guys, there are some good ass videos back there. Way worth the binge. It's pretty cool, man, because I've gone back and watched that stuff too, because then I get to see some of the things that I went through at the beginning. I got to see my van build when I was still dragging around my DJ gear and trying to sleep in my van while I had a full van full of sound equipment at night, and me and my other dog Disco were just making the best of it. You know, I remember waking up in some videos scraping the ice off my front window because my propane heater threw out so much moisture that night that the inside of my windows froze over. But it's really, really fun to go back there and see that kind of stuff. Some restaurant around here smells mighty damn good. SKL2115, thank you for that. Appreciate your videos. Thanks for keeping it real. You're very welcome. That's one thing I've learned in life, is just shoot it straight and just be real and be honest. I do see other van life channels where I wonder, how played out is this? You know what I mean? Where I don't have that option to fake things. I don't have that option to butter things up or to make things better than they seem in a video, because I upload every day. And I think that's why I feel such a connection with my audience on here, is because we upload every day. I don't know, guys, I just love it. Grumpy old Van, send him tacos. I wonder if there's a taco place in this plaza. I can't see. I don't see a taco place. There's a Home Hardware back there. And in front of me is Eastside Mario's and a Fionis or something like that. Here we go. Another question. Logan asked me, do you ever think about getting a pop top for my van? No. I am happy, super happy in a low roof, you guys. Chrome is always off script. You got that right. I don't plan my videos. Things just fly from this. I literally get up, turn my camera on, and off we go. Whatever happens, happens. And sometimes you get into your journeys and epic things happen that make really great videos. But otherwise, you just keep going through your days and film everything that you do. And it's kind of cool because a lot of van life channels show you so many highlights, so many great things and all this epic stuff. And sometimes on my channel, I just show you that I'm doing nothing. I'm just hanging out at a park, or, hey guys, I'm cleaning my van today because that's what I'm doing today. Oh, needed that. Ontario meetup. No, I'm not doing any meetups at all on my travels this year because of COVID. Because as soon as I start doing a meetup, that's considered an organized event, because I'm doing a meetup, and if anything happens at those events, I am held liable. So I am avoiding that like the plague this year. Hopefully next year things will be back to normal and we can go up to meeting with you guys on my travels. But yeah, not this year. I did the math. I could save $10,000 a year if I went van life and slowly started my build. It's true. Like, I mean, where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. Wherever it is, here it is. Right beside me. Let me figure this out. 1,300. I'm gonna add my car payment and my car to this. Plus 265 plus 145. So including my car insurance, no, I shouldn't include that. We'll just do 1,300 times 12. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how much I've spent times 3. So in the 3 years of me living in my van, I have saved $46,800 on rent. $46,000 would have left my bank account and I would have never seen it again, nor would have I enjoyed it. So do I have $46,000 in my bank account? Heck no. Did I enjoy that $42,000 and live one heck of a life and make some great van upgrades over the last 3 years? Heck yes. So if you look at it, I have money in the bank. Sure as heck ain't that much. But I built a van with all that additional money that I would have saved, and I've had a journey that is unparalleled to anything that my condo would have ever brought my way. So that's where I always think that, you know, people are like, well, I could live in a house cheaper. And then you go live in a house cheaper if you want to look at the same view every day, and then go for it. But I think van life brings in that different demographic of people who are just looking for something completely different. You know what I mean? They need that excitement in their day. So it's even for me, like, I find it exciting to pull up on a street somewhere and pull over. I get the giddies in the morning when I get up. I'm like, can't believe I just slept here. It's super cool, whether I'm sleeping in front of a hardware store or an apartment building or in a Walmart parking lot or wherever, down some side street somewhere, or by a creek, a lake, a river in the backcountry. I get that giddy feeling when I get up in the morning and I'm realizing, like, whoa, this is my view today. This is pretty cool. or when you sleep somewhere convenient where you get up in the morning, get out of your van, take your dog for a walk, and everything that you need that day is right there. Your coffee shop, Starbucks is there, your Walmart is right there, whatever shopping you may need to do, your grocery store, your liquor store, it's all within like 10 feet of your van because you parked somewhere convenient the night before. I'll take that over an apartment any day. Hey Ronnie, thanks for joining YouTube memberships. Pretty cool. Happy Camper Kits, thanks for the love, man. Beer and bones. Super rad. Thanks, bro. Man, guys, I'm missing a lot of people's questions. If you were to change or update something on your van today, what were you going to do? Honestly, this trip I have completed everything I've ever wanted to do to my van within reason. Within my financial capabilities at this point. This trip I did everything. So a bit more convenient, pull out storage out the back of my van, and now I have a place to stand up and edit my videos and a stand-up table when friends come by. So cool. But the biggest thing I wanted for the longest time was my new speakers that I have mounted in the back of my van. If you haven't seen that, go watch the Happy Camper Kits videos, the last 5 of them that we just uploaded. But my speakers were the biggest thing I wanted in my van, and now I have it. So, yeah, I don't know what's next. I don't really know if there's much more to do next. I think we've got this thing pretty much maxed out to what... Oh my gosh. We've done a lot to this van. In the last 6 months, this van has gone through a ton of changes. What about a shelf to raise the fridge in the winter so you could face it inside? I can face my fridge inside. I can easily take my fridge and turn it completely around in the winter, no problems at all. Because of the changes that we made at Happy Camper Kits, I can easily just pick it up, rotate it, drop it back down. Now I have an indoor fridge. No problems. But so far, I enjoy going outside and getting stuff. I'm sure when the weather gets colder, I may want to have inside access, but for right now, it's doing me very, very well. Linda, thanks for the super chat. Did I add a desk or a tray for the swivel seat? No, I didn't. My swivel seat right here is perfect. I flip it around. I sit on the little fold-out stool that I'm sitting on right now, and it works great. I kick my feet up, put my laptop on my lap, maybe throw a pillow down. I can edit videos fine here. Or I turn the seat completely sideways, and I put my feet over here while I'm sitting with the back up by the window. But I have no need for building an additional desk. I wouldn't know where to put it anyway if I did that. When am I coming to the United States? Nope. COVID. COVID says no. CL, thank you so much for the super chat. Would you be doing van life without YouTube? Absolutely. YouTube's just made it possible to travel. Like when I started making videos, I never thought I was going to be a full-time YouTuber. It just happened. And I think I actually thought about this the other day. I was driving down a back road here in a little small town of Ontario, and was just thinking about, you know, like how when you pour your heart into something you love and dedicate 100% of your time to it, how it can turn into something amazing. Because that's what I did with YouTube. I started to make some videos and I started to make a little bit of money. Then I decided to just stop my DJing and focus 100% on video content, and look where it got me. We're just about at 100,000 subscribers. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Click that button. But yeah, it's just like, I think that's what happens when you dedicate your entire world 100% to something. Like I didn't give YouTube 50% of my time. After about 6 months of doing YouTube, I gave it 100%. And we rocked it. And yeah, it's been doing really, really, really well. And I'm super thankful. Really thankful for you guys in front of us all the time. Every day that you press play, man, I just watch these views go up and up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love having you guys here with us. Any advice for new van lifers? Yep, don't overthink it. Period. Things aren't as hard as you may hear, or things aren't as complex as you may hear. think about the base needs that you need. Bed, fridge, and a way to cook food. That's it. Get in the van, maybe buy a roof vent, maybe buy a little portable battery to start off with. Don't overthink it. How's the solar? Stephanie, good question. Right now, not so good. So here's a topic. Here's actually a really good topic to talk about. I have 2 cheap AGM deep cycle batteries in my van. I got them for like 260 bucks a piece or something like that. They're 125 amp hours, and I have 300 watts of solar on the roof. But when you don't have solar power from the sun and you're not moving your van anywhere to drive, I have struggled a lot lately to maintain power inside of my van. So while I was at Happy Camper Kits, because I don't have a shore power plug on the side of my van, I called Re-Outfitted. I'm like, guys, what am I going to do here? My batteries are like literally just about dead. And they said, get a car charger. So what I did is I asked Andy, he went to the guys next door at his shop, grabbed a car charger, we connected it to my batteries, and we just charged it off the wall until they were back to 100%. So because I don't have a shore power plug, that was the way to do it, to get around not having shore power. So, but that wasn't the first time I had to do that. I had to do that at Re-Outfitted too, because when my van is inside the shop at Re-Outfitted all day long, it's not getting any solar. And before getting to Ontario, that was never a problem. I could leave my van inside of a shop for a week and it would never hurt anything, because I never had anything in my van pulling power all day long. So now that I've got my fridge and my freezer combination, it pulls power all day long. It needs power all day. So when it comes to you guys planning your solar and battery systems, it's not about how much solar you have on the roof. It's how much battery capacity you have inside of your van. So if I had better batteries than the cheap AGMs that I have, like if I were to buy the new Victron 200 amp hour batteries and put 2 of those stacked over top of each other, that would give me 400 amp hours of usable power in this battery cabinet right here. But they're also $2,000 a piece, Canadian. No, thank you. But that's the difference though. The difference is how much battery capacity do you have to get you through those situations where you don't have optimal solar conditions or don't have solar. And I've ran into that a lot lately. So at Andy's shop, man, I was just killing my batteries. And those AGMs, you push them down to 50%, and they don't last very long if you keep pushing them down to that level, because you'll kill the cells inside of them. They don't do good. An AGM battery is good to 50%, and that's the lowest you want to go. Other than that, you start killing it. But my solar production has been pretty iffy. Like today, I literally drove about 4.5 hours of driving today, with partial sun in and off today, and my batteries aren't full. Let's see if they're full. Let me check. This Victron battery monitor app I have is super awesome. So you just click on it, it loads it up and tells me what my batteries are at. My batteries are at 98%, so I must, hold on, let me see if, so okay, so my last full charge was 1 hour and 47 minutes ago. So in just under 2 hours ago, my batteries were at 100%, but it took me 4 hours of driving with the sunshine out today to get it up to that. But before that, it was 5 days since it's seen 100% charge. So I don't know if that answered your question, Steffi, but solar is great, but I got a funny feeling going into winter. If I don't keep moving, it's going to be hard to keep those batteries charged, but I always move enough with my channel to keep things turned up. All right, sorry guys, my chat's just reloaded. Dale, thank you so much for the super chat. What is CRUZ's favorite addition to the van? Having the bed 2 inches lower than it was prior to us arriving at Happy Camper Kits this year, I think is CRUZ's favorite addition. The dog bowl that Andy made for him is pretty cool, but CRUZ doesn't like it unless there's food in it, so I'm gonna say the bed. Because now he can jump in and out of the bed every night without whining and wanting me to do it. He's capable of jumping in the bed, he is just too lazy to do it. Now, he ain't got no excuse. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. What YouTubers inspired you? I like that question. So before I ever started to create or edit videos, the one YouTuber that inspired me was Casey Neistat. That's when he was vlogging every single day. He inspired me because of his work ethic on making videos, on how he literally put in all that grind and time and hours and into his edits and how he produced that stuff every day. I found the work ethic addicting. And I got hooked on it because of that, because of the product that he produced every single day inspired me. Like, I love that creative process. So Casey Neistat will be number one. And the second, I don't know if he was really an inspiration. I really like him, though. Peter McKinnon, he's a Toronto video and photographer guy on YouTube. Peter McKinnon, he's a champ, dude. But I would say my initial inspiration probably would have been Casey Neistat. Dave Kaplan, thanks so much for the love. Chrome, thank you for inspiring me to go with van life. I love your honest approach. Super sweet, man. I appreciate that. Tranquil Autumn. How much for a USB music mix? You can get my DJ mixes for free online. I haven't posted one in a while at here, as in here, hearthis.at/DJ Chrome. Hold on, let me type it in the comments. Yeah, this is where my DJ mixes are at. hearthis.at/DJ Chrome. Bada boom. DJs cannot sell DJ mixes. It's against the law. It's against the law for me to make money off of somebody else's copyright music by selling it. I can mix it as a DJ because the clubs pay the fees to SlowCan or SoCan, whatever it's called. They pay the fees. So us DJs can play all the music we want. But when it comes to us, we can't sell our mixes unless we get permission from all the different record labels, and then they need to get a piece of that pie to pay the artists. So yeah, all my DJ mixes are online for free. The van is a spaceship now. My van feels so hyper equipped now, like beyond, it's incredible. Kim, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that. It's pretty cool because it's nice to have a van with all the luxuries. Some people have been telling me, Chrome, it's like you're turning your van into what your condo used to be. Why not? Why not, if things have gone so well with YouTube that now I can start adding some of the luxuries that I couldn't afford to add to my van life before? Why not? The number one thing I missed about my condo was my DJ studio. Sure, I may not have my big vinyl collection and my Technique 1200 turntables and all that other goodies, but I have my DJ mixing, my DJ controller. I have studio monitors and a subwoofer in here. I've kind of created the best mini DJ studio that I could with what I've got for space in my little van. But it feels nice to just put those luxuries back into my van. And they're not like luxuries like a shower and all these other things that, I'm not adding those kind of luxuries. I'm adding like the luxuries that I needed in my life, the music stuff. And it feels so good to have that music back. It felt good the other day to just sit in my van and just listen to like music at a nice volume, and it's like, oh, sounds so good. I am sweating in here, guys. This is ridiculous. It's a muggy night out there. I got my roof fan. I should turn the roof fan the other way. Reverse the fan. Hey? Someone said, unless you are Chris Shepard. So, like, if you've ever seen DJs release CDs, there's a part of that money that goes to the artists that are on those CDs, and it's a huge legal process to get those tracks onto it's a big process. Same thing with DJ mixes, same way. As soon as you start selling them, have to do contracts with every song and artist that's on there, every record label. Billy K, thank you so much for that. Super rad. Any cool winter adventures planned? Yep, head back to Vancouver and avoid the snow. I don't mind being in the snow a little bit this year. My van is a little bit more equipped for the snow this year. For one, it's got more weight in the back, so it'll perform better in the snow. Two, it's got better tires on it, so it should be able to get more traction in the snow. And I've even got my air compressor, so if it gets really nasty, I could deflate my tires a little bit, get a little bit more traction. And I also got snow chains this year, so I'm hella equipped for whatever gets chucked my way, man. Bring it on. Just not a big fan of the snow. Being born and raised in Vancouver, I never really been around the snow, so I never really had that kind of an interest. Company I used to work for in Vancouver just texted me. He's like, his name is Jason from Galactic Entertainment. You rock, buddy. Oh, he's watching my live stream. What up, Jay? Just got your text, bro. I'm gonna come visit you guys when I get back to Vancouver. I should be back in Vancouver November. I'll give you guys a little message. I'll come by and visit. We want CRUZ. Sorry. Cruisy. There you go, buddy. Hey. That's CRUZ being CRUZ. Hey, buddy. It's a little warm in the van right now, and I'd open up all the doors, but we're in a parking lot. Yeah, that's just weird. Super awesome, you guys. How's your... Janet, good question. How's my website coming? It's coming. So Madison has been doing my website for me. She got it all kind of laid out because I just don't have the time to do all that stuff. So Madison's been laying it all out. She's got a rough layout for me. It's just and she's been on my case. Chrome, have you gone in and take a look yet at Chrome? Because I need to go in and make all the changes that I need to make and like change colors, fonts, and move things around, whatever I need. But I'm hoping to have that website finished before I leave Ontario. At least up enough that people can like go through it and see the links of everything that I have in my van or whatever else is on there. So we're gonna put all my sticker sales on the website now, so they'll no longer go through PayPal, so people can buy sticker packs, and if we ever release new stickers, they'll all be on there. But all that stuff will be driven through the website, and she is working on it as we speak. Or she's not working on it as we speak. What am I lying to you guys? I'm the one that's up next. It's coming. Open my new window and get a fan with a cross breeze. My back fan is on full right now. My back window is wide open. This fan is on like probably medium blowing in. It is just a super sticky night out here tonight. It's a little bit on the humid side. CRUZ cameo. Yeah, it's like he's dead there. Pauline says she has a super chat question. Ask the question. All right, hold on. I guess I missed a few super chats. Give me a second, guys. Grumpy old van. Thanks for the love, bro. Sending snow to Chrome this year. Please don't. We don't need snow in Vancouver. We're good without it. D, thanks for the super chat. Lisa Marie, thank you so much for that. I'm trying to teach myself video editing. What do you recommend for beginner video creators? Honestly, just play around with it. Just experiment. So if Jason's on here from Galactic Entertainment, I made a few videos for their YouTube channel on iMovie, just that free little iMovie app that's on my laptop. And I made some videos for them for their YouTube channel. Then after I left them, I started my YouTube channel on my own. Sorry, Jay. But yeah, just literally, honestly, just try one, get a free one, and play around with it. The only way you're going to learn something is to do it on your own. It's like learning to play an instrument. You're better to learn to play that instrument playing around with it on your own. You know what I mean? Versus like going to all these big classes and big whatevers. Learn the basics, but for the most part, you'll figure it out on your own. There's lots of great apps out there though. Like when my laptop broke 2 years ago, I had to take to an app on my phone in order to keep uploading, so I used LumaFusion. I really liked it. It was really crappy for importing music into for my videos, but LumaFusion, it worked. But honestly, if you have an Apple computer, just use iMovie. It's free. Nothing wrong with free. Are BC winters damp? Extremely damp. We put it this way. In a majority of Canada, when it snows, the snow is fluffy. Like you can kick it and it's like, you can walk around, your feet don't get wet. In Vancouver, it comes down literally like a Slurpee. It's wet, it's slushy from beginning to end. It never ever gets to be that fluffy kick around snow. You may happen to get a snowfall for like an hour one evening where it's still kind of fluffy on the top, but for the most part, it is a nasty, soaking wet mess. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to learn. Like, I think with all the nomads out there now that can't go to the US, that might be running for Vancouver this winter, I think they're in for a shocker, because I've had people from Ontario say that our Vancouver 0 degrees Celsius feels like the Toronto -20. It's crazy, but it is a really cold to the bone kind of cold. But I will take a rainy winter over a snowy winter any day. I'm sure sometime down the line my thoughts may change on that process, but as of right now, I'd rather have a rainy winter where I can still go out, drive around, play around in the backcountry, and do all the usual things that I love to do just in the rain. I'm cool with that. How's the bed for sitting height? So my new bed that Happy Camper Kids just built is 2 inches lower, giving me way more space when I'm sitting upright in my bed. I'm not in my bed right now. I'm in the front of my van because my cell phone reception got crappy back there earlier. But yeah, it's 2 inches lower, giving me way more room for sitting in my bed. And for those of you that haven't seen, my desk goes across right there, and that's where I do my video editing. As I pop my desk in place, put my laptop up, set up everything, put a beer down, get a video edited. Maybe not in the morning, it's usually coffee, sometimes a beer, usually coffee, sometimes a beer. I've done that before. When you're out in the backcountry and you're just like, hey, it's 9 o'clock, it's a little morning beer, it's all good. Things happen. Chrome, you gotta come up, check out Kingston. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be doing much more roaming around out here in Ontario. We've been here for a long time, and it'll be probably first week of October before we start making the move out of our location that we've been kind of in the whole time. And we'll probably be out of Ontario by October 15th. And I'm okay with that because November is probably when things start to go, so I'm okay with being out of here by then. But then we're also getting into those snowy provinces too. Like, we'll probably be in Winnipeg and Alberta probably the end of November, the end of October, right? I'm hoping to be back in Vancouver sometime in November. My rent was $1,300 a month in my condo, $1,300. I love these questions when they're not finished. Have you ever considered, John, thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that. Wow, you guys have been so generous with the super chats today. It's been so good. Oh, I love that stuff. Oh, Sean, thanks for that. For the positive vibes and keeping me uplifted. So beer and tacos on me. Sean, man, bro fist, I appreciate that. Things have been so great, you guys. And these live streams have been like bigger than we've ever had. Like in Vancouver before we left, like we were doing about 600, 700, 800 on a live stream. Every live stream I've done, like we've been doing them just about every week or every 2 weeks lately, a week and a half. They've been at 1,000 people. Today we peaked at over 1,500 people. Oh man, this family's growing so fast and I don't know what to do with you guys. So now that I have more data on both of my devices in the van, I'm gonna try to get live streams up more often. So I'm gonna try to maybe do them. Don't take this as a for sure, but I like to maybe pull off a live stream every single Sunday, depending on where I am, depending on what kind of connection that I have. But this really makes me feel connected to you guys, because I know it's hard sometimes for me to always be 100% responsive to absolutely everybody who messages me. So this is my way of like making me feel better and answering some of your questions that I do miss. Because when you're getting close to 100,000 subscribers, it's impossible to answer everybody. Have you visited Toronto and the CN Tower? Yes, I did last year. I haven't gone into Toronto this year because I don't need to go to a place that's got that much COVID. I'm good. But we're pretty close to Toronto. I think right now I'm only about an hour outside of Toronto. How much data do I use each month? So right now, between the data, I have 50 gigs on my cell phone, 50 gigs on my MiFi hotspot in the van. Right now I use about 70 gigs of data per month to do a live stream as often as we have been lately, and uploading every single day. Because at the property at Ray Outfitted, where we've been spending a lot of our time getting a ton of van build stuff done, there's no Wi-Fi. And being at Happy Camper Kits doing all the build upgrades, there's no Wi-Fi either. So everything I've done out here since August 15th has been 100% on my data plans between the two devices, and so far we're at about 70 gigs of high-speed data used, which by the time the rest of it goes in, we'll probably use close to 100 gigs of data. And for me out here, that's costing me $250 Canadian. It's the cost of doing business though, you know what I mean? Am I coming to Jasper anytime? I will probably be coming through Jasper on the way back from here. So when I came through, because we kind of made a bit of a beeline out here, because I had a filming project that had some timelines on it, so we kind of came out here super early. I missed a lot of things because we just literally commuted. On the way back, we're going to be going a lot slower, and yes, I will probably be stopping in Jasper. I'm still not too sure about which way back I'm going. Are words coming out of my mouth right? I think I'm hearing my words in my head and not the ones that are coming out of my mouth, and probably sounded okay. But so yeah, we have a lot of things going on the way back. I'm still not too sure yet which way I'm going, because I may have an ambulance tour to do in Saskatchewan somewhere, and depending on the weather, I might go see Badge in his little town in Alberta, because they're not going south this year, so they're going to be hunkering down on the, we'll call it the farm or wherever he's staying at. So I'm still not too sure yet. We'll see. But I'm super excited to get back to the mountains, though. Oh, let me tell you, I'm so stoked to see the mountains again. The rolling hills out here have been super nice, but I miss the mountains. Don't panic. Thanks for the love, man. Here's some beer and coffee money for your next video edit. Super rad, man. I appreciate that. Oh, you guys have been super great. Oh, I guess it's Justin and Christina's happy birthday. Happy birthday, you guys. I didn't read it in your comment. I read it in somebody else's. Why do you have a dry heater, and what fuel did you use, and are you worried about nosebleeds? No, what? No. Are you worried about nosebleeds living in your apartment? You got the same dry kind of heat as this one. It's the same. Runs through the furnace with the same kind of process. It's the same. And why do I have a dry heater? Because having propane in your van sucks. I've been using propane in my van for 3 years, and it feels good to get that moist heat out of the van, and to remove the 20-pound bomb that was sitting in that cabinet, so there's no propane tank in my van. Why do I have a dry heat source? Because it feels better. It's comfortable and more cozy, and I chose the gasoline version one, and it's tapped into my van's gas tank. Nosebleeds. That's like not running the AC because you're worried about that's going to dry out your nose too. Yeah, I've never heard that have been something that's even a thought. What about you talking about my propane stove? I still have my propane burner stove, this one here. It runs on 1-pound bottles. I have a couple of bottles in my van. The bottle is down there by the side of the door, and I'm still gonna keep running propane. Why? On that, because I can't afford the power that goes into running an induction cooktop. I just can't. There's just, when you're having something that's pulling like 800 or 1,000 watts of power just to be run, you need bigger batteries, and I don't really feel like spending money to expand my battery banks just to run an induction cooktop. This works. I don't cook a lot in my van. I cook very little in here. It's quick, fast, simple little things like heating up some chimichangas or making hash browns and eggs, like super fast stuff. I don't really worry about that one. Yeah, I've actually heard a lot of people run diffusers in your van. Because of the dry air heat, some people say they get chapped lips or whatever, the dry skin. So I know lots of vanners that are actually running a diffuser, which is like those smelly things that use steam or whatever. I don't have a diffuser, never have I ever had one. But I know a lot of them that use diffusers just to add a little bit more moisture back into the van. I don't have any experience with this yet because I just bought my diesel heater. I haven't had the chance to get into winter yet, so I'll keep you guys posted on if I add a diffuser to my van, if I feel I need it. Those kind of things will come with time, so I can't give any advice on stuff like that because I have no experience. I'm not about to spit you false things that I've never experienced before. So would I try an Instapot? Apparently van lifers love it. No, I'm not a cook. I don't know what I would put in an Instapot. It's not, I don't cook enough in my van. I mean, maybe one day if I turn into a chef or someone that likes to make food in the van. I'm more of a salad guy. Like last night, I put in some fake veggie hamburger, just heated it up on the frying pan, took me like 2 minutes, and then I made tacos. I just rammed this Baja salad mix that I bought from Costco into a wrap with some of that fake veggie Mexican meat. It actually tastes really good, believe it or not. Shocking. And yeah, it's super easy. I had a great dinner last night. Tossed some hot sauce on it, good to go. John, thanks for the super chat. I should hire a nanny to cook for me. Yeah, a nanny would be nice. I don't think I could handle the company inside of my van. I'd probably kill her. I don't think I could be around somebody that often. I've been single since 2011, and I no plans on changing that anytime soon. Can you tell the history on how Becky, I actually talked about that at the beginning of this video. So after this live stream gets posted live, you can go back to the beginning and watch this. I may put this in a video. So I think, actually, you know what? I think I told that story in my series of, sorry, let me tell you guys what she asked first. Becky asked me, can I tell the story on how I connected with Happy Camper Kits? If you go back and watch the last 5 videos, in one of those videos, there's the story on how me and Andy met each other. How are the cinnamon rolls? I make cinnamon rolls in my van, cinnamon buns, rolls, whatever you want to call them, in my cast iron pan, and they're freaking epic. They're just the little ones you just break the pack open and toss the buns in and heat them up. Epic. Having a cast iron pan in your van is the most amazing thing you could ever put in here, let me tell you. The deep dish cast iron pan with the little frying pan cast iron lid, box it all in there, and you got yourself a little baby oven in your van. And making cinnamon buns are great. That reminds me, I should go to the grocery store and buy some more of those before I leave town so we can have some of those more in the backcountry. Ooh, so good. Oh my gosh, things are flying by so fast. It's always funny when my chat window just re-grabs, goes, I'm like, ooh, we've missed a lot, my bad. James, thank you so much for the super chat. Looking forward to hearing the new sound system in your van. Your plan for making it. Okay, so I will show you guys the sound system once I get out of town and finish all these video projects I have coming up, because there's a lot. I have like 7 van tours to film. And hopefully, I'm weird to say, but I'm hoping a couple of them cancel so I can ease up some of my days that I still have to say, but I have 7 coming. Oh my gosh, so much. But I will make a video about the sound system and stuff like that that I just finished putting in the van. It's just literally home studio or recording studio sound speakers. Like I bought, they're the Yamaha HS5s. They're powered. One's right back there in the corner, one's right here. And then the Yamaha HS8 subwoofer. They're actually meant for a recording studio, and they're so beautiful in here. But making a video about the sound system, you guys will never, it'll never do justice to what it actually sounds like. It's really great in here. Do I decorate my van for Halloween or Christmas? I do decorate my van a little bit for Christmas, mainly for the YouTube channel. So I usually go and buy myself a little baby tree from the dollar store and hang up a few little things. I'm not really a Christmas guy, but I found last year that I got a little bit more in the Christmas spirit. So we'll see what this Christmas brings. But I've normally been a bah humbug guy when it comes to like Christmas. Last year I actually got really excited about it. It was a really weird thing for me. These are seat covers. They're just a thick padded thing. I got them from Canadian Tire. I've had them in my van for quite a while now. They're pretty good. It's only on the one seat. CRUZ's seat is still cloth. But yeah, CRUZ doesn't like the seat covers. I think because like once he gets on there and starts to realize there's an edge on it, he actually starts picking them up and stuff like that. He's not a very big fan. Don't panic, thank you for that. Make a video on my epic cinnamon rolls. Absolutely, when I buy those things, I will definitely be making a video about how I make them. I made a video about it when I was going up the Alaska Highway at the beginning of the summer. I don't remember the name of that video. What's the name of that video? I think it was like top 5 things or I can't remember what it was. Something like that. Anyway, I made cinnamon buns in that video. That was super fun. It is such a cool thing to be out somewhere like way away from cell reception. There's like more wild animals around you than human beings. And then to smell cinnamon buns being made inside of your van when you're outside, you're like, what does that smell? What does that smell? Is that coming from my van? Super cool. Ruthie, you've been way too good to us on this live stream. Ruthie, thank you for the $50. Here's another month of internet on you. Ruthie, you've been a rock star today. Thank you. Oh, Ruthie, big hug. I love this. You're so good to us. Window open? Yep, windows open, and my front window's open. My fans are on. It's hot in here. It's been super good lately because the weather has been super cool. Like we've had nights out here where it's been like 6 or 9 degrees Celsius, which are good nights in the van. Then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it got to like 27 degrees yesterday. Today was like 26 or something like that. Let's see what the temperature's outside now. It's feeling pretty warm. Weather. It's 21 degrees. It's a warm one right now, man. It's kind of nasty out. I don't like this warm weather. I'm done with summer. Like, I am happily done with this weather. This is the very first time, though, I've experienced a muggy summer, because we don't get that mugginess in Vancouver. It's extremely rare. And out here, it has been so sticky. It's been really nasty nights in the van. Like, you're just in there, you're like, your bedding feels wet. You get up in the morning, you have a shower, you get out of the shower, and it feels like you just like sweat for like 10 hours. It is really gross. And I'm not a really big fan of the weather out here. So I originally planned on being out here in September, but we end up getting here 2 weeks early. So we end up catching 2 weeks or 3 weeks of like really gross weather. Oh my gosh, so many comments in this chat. It's crazy. I can't even keep up. What about air conditioning? I don't have the battery supply to support an air conditioner in the van. I can't afford that much power. It takes a lot to run an AC unit. Didn't believe people could. No mugginess near the ocean. You got that right. So I have two choices in Canada. I need to make my way to either coast. Right now I'm smack dab in the middle. If it was earlier in the summer, I'd go to the East Coast. But right now, because it's so close to winter, I am not going any deeper into Canada. Heck no, I'm going back to the West Coast. Where it's wet and no snow. Versus that way where it's wet and snowy. Really, really snowy. I'll pass. Completely pass. Super rad, you guys. Now, how long? Woo! 124 minutes on this live stream. Unreal. Anyway, you guys, God, it's so hard to say goodbye when there's still 1,400 people on here. 1,400! Woo! My goodness. Anyway, you guys, I gotta go. I am exhausted, tired, and the reason why I live streamed today is because I was too tired to edit a video and get it uploaded. So, anyway, tomorrow I'm going to try my hardest to finish that video with Andy first thing in the morning and get that video uploaded for you in real time tomorrow. So Andy's going to be doing a walkthrough around my van, talking about all the work and stuff like that he's done on my van. Hey, Andy, I see you're still in the chat. Do a little walkthrough, talking about the work that he did and some of the stuff that they're doing at Happy Camper Kits. And yeah, I figured, you know, I was going to go through and do it, but I figured it's probably best that he does it because he'll be able to let you know the kind of wood that was used, the latches that were used, why the drawers are built certain ways, how the pull-out drawer is mechanically built, and all those other kind of things. So I'm super stoked. I'm stoked to go back there and get that video filmed with him. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions at all that you want to ask Happy Camper Kits, don't ask them in the live stream right now. Please give this about a half an hour for this live stream to load publicly live as a regular video. Then ask all the questions that you would have for Andy at Happy Camper Kits in the posted video after this live stream is over. Because I can go back and read those comments because they'll be listed below the video in the comments section. That way I can sit down with Andy tomorrow and maybe get some of your guys' questions answered. Thank you for all you guys for being here. I love each and every one of you guys for all the time you spend here with us. Thank you for everybody who gave us a super chat today. It's you guys that keep us fueled, moving and going forward. And I want to thank everybody who's joined Patreon during this live stream and joined YouTube memberships. Those extended communities outside of Van City Van Life are seriously freaking epic and a lot of fun, and they see my world in real time. Thanks for watching, you guys. Lots of love. Bro fist from I guess we can bro fist because we don't have those COVID policies. So come on, give me a hug, you guys. We all need a hug sometimes. People don't hug enough these days. All right, we're gonna go. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hold on, we gotta get Cruisy Bear. Cruisy, Cruisy, hold on. Cruisy, we're gonna make you come up here. Come on. Oh, we need some more light. Crazy. These guys missed you, buddy. The whole live stream, people have wanted to see you. Some people bought you dog treats and stuff in today's live stream, bro. Hey, we'll take that money out, maybe go buy you some treats and a dog toy from everybody. Hey, lots of people gave us love today. Huh? Hey. Hey, you guys. There's Mr. Cruisy Bear. One bulldog that's just too damn lazy to hold his own head up, so I have to. Hey, do you realize, bro, we're just about at 100,000 subscribers, and I think most of them are here just for you. You know that? Can somebody come over here and hold CRUZ's head up? Cruisy, you have a very heavy head. Cruisy, wake up. There you go. Look at, see, look at, everybody's looking at you. Closes his eyes again. Cruisy, you gotta open your eyes, bro. You gotta open your eyes, bro. Come on, buddy. We could do this all night. We could live stream all night and you could just do this. Hey? Cruisy. It's like, what? Really? Cruisy, give everybody love. Man, there's still 1,000 people watching your face, bro. I already said bye on the live stream, and here you are. Hey? Look at that face. How could you not love this face? Hey, I bet you everybody's glad they stuck around for this part, hey? You just fall asleep in my hand again. Hey, you fall asleep in my hand again. Okay, wake up. Wakey, wakey. Cruisy, you are not being very good today. Hey, Cruisy, you gotta say hi. Are you dead? Hey? Cruisy, are you dead? Hey? Anything? Hey? Anything? Mr. Cruisy. Really? Come on, buddy. Can you pick your head up? People want to see your face, bro. Right there, say hi. He is not happy with me. Hey, buddy. You have lots of fans out there, you know that, right? Hey, you know that, don't you? All right, you guys. We're going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Say thank you, buddy. I love you, Cruisy. I love you, buddy. Your tongue is super dry, bro. You put your tongue away, buddy. Hey. You good? You gonna get up now? Come on, wakey, wakey. Ah, please, Dad. It's Sunday. I don't want to get up. All right, buddy. I'll leave you alone. No more picking on CRUZ, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. What a funny little guy.